Welcome back to the Thriving Love Podcast, the podcast that challenges the status quo so couples can thrive as their most authentic selves. I don't know about you, but I am feeling massive shifts in our consciousness, in our humanity, in our messaging. And it's a really powerful time to be alive. It's also a very troubling time to be alive. I don't want to bypass that. What I am seeing happening in me is a shift in seeing love as so much more than just the love I share with my incredible husband, who has given me so much love, support, and space for me to arrive into becoming the woman I came here to be. I found myself yesterday in a room full of incredibly powerful, conscious leaders at the Moss in Venice. My beautiful friend Dana was leading a workshop, so it was my first time there. I don't often go to Venice for spiritual or consciousness events because for a while, I didn't feel a sense of belonging. I didn't feel a sense of connection. I felt like I was othered. Not only because I was one of the only women of color, it's also because I didn't fit the mold of what woo-woo spiritual leaders look like. And in a place like LA, it's really loud in your face. If you're not wearing linen, if you're not fully in cotton, if you're not glowing, just not wearing any fake makeup or nails or anything like that, and if you're not in the most fit shape of your life, wearing aloe or whatever, you feel like there's this perfect image of what spiritual leaders look like. And I personally just didn't feel like I fit in. And I felt these things arising in me yesterday when I was at the Moss as the only brown woman in the room with maybe 30 people. It was really interesting because old me would have felt a lot of that fear of, I don't fit in, I don't belong, let me now put up my walls and try to prove who I am so they can see me. I didn't feel any of that yesterday. I simply tapped into who I am. I was authentic as could be. And I allowed myself to feel the discomfort so that I could journal about it later. And I'm so glad that I did that, because when I sat with my journal this morning, what came through was that as the black sheep of my family, something that I have processed and healed through so many times, there was still this little piece of othering that I felt. And as somebody who is creating a conscious community here in LA, shout out to Growth Club, I can now see that this is coming up for me to be alchemized into deeper belonging within myself and with the people around me. Deeper connection with my authentic self and the authenticity of the world that we are heading into. For so long, I felt like I wasn't enough because I didn't get the love that I deeply desired from my parents. These things come up to be healed over and over and over again. Not because you haven't healed them, but it's because it's inviting you into deeper and deeper layers of your subconscious programming so that you can transmute it and alchemize it into more and more unity consciousness. This is also not just because of my inner child wounds. It's deeply embedded in my DNA. As a woman of color, I have deep ancestral experiences encoded in my DNA of colonization, of war, of mayhem, of enslavement, of being stripped of our ancient wisdom and our cultural richness and our spiritual wisdom so it could be broken down and stolen for capitalism. What I'm feeling is the duality of anger and rage for what happened in the past. And what I am being invited into uncomfortably is expanding to see that what happened in the past is not happening now. The reactions that I'm feeling are just from this past experience of my own with my family and of my ancestors of colonization. So that black sheep wound that we often feel is an invitation to feel the othering, sit with it, and remember that nobody can make you feel that way if you are a sovereign human being who doesn't give your power away. And you are the one that is practicing emotional regulation and emotional processing and spiritual attunement and alignment on the regular. And then expanding your capacity to see that the fact that these people are here in this workshop that is all about belonging and connection means that they are devoted to unlearning and learning and purging and shifting and growing in the same way I am. And as somebody who grew up Muslim and who has raised a ton of fundraising for Gaza, and seeing this woman proudly say, "Oh, I got these earrings from Israel." This work is not easy. And if we truly want to create new earth and have unity consciousness as the foundation, it's not about bypassing, it's about seeing who's in front of you. It's about taking the human in front of you away from the stories and the narratives that are controlling us. And we are all just deprogramming this old way of being, of division, of war, of power, of greed, of entitlement, and moving into this place where all lives are worthy. When one human is hurting, we are all hurting. When one group of people is not free, none of us are free. And in order to shift, it's not about changing others, and it's not about getting them to understand and see what we see. It's not about getting them to learn what we're learning. It's about honoring our path as holy and honoring theirs just as holy. Even if it may take a really long time for all of us to awaken to the simple truth that all human beings deserve, at the bare minimum, safety, shelter, peace, a home. And no land is ours to own or control because it is Mother Earth, and we are all beautifully privileged to be able to experience her beauty. It feels like it's a dream that is really far away, and at the same time, I am having so many beautiful conversations in Growth Club with my one-on-one clients, with my friends, with my husband, with my peers, of all of us collectively being able to see this vision so clearly. Ooh, chills. When I see these gurus and coaches and conscious leaders here in LA in their aloe and their linen and their 5 a.m. morning routines with cold plunges and sound baths and yoga and all of that, it enrages the human in me that knows that all of these spiritual sacred practices were stolen from ancient land in order to be this westernized new age bullshit that these people monetize off of and get rich off of. And how beautiful that these practices and modalities are being shared with others for the sake of regulation and healing and bettering our bodies and our minds and our souls so that we can have the energy to build new earth collectively. And what I want to move into, instead of feeling rage when I see them, I want to honor their work. And I also want to reclaim these practices as Eastern ancient ways that our communities have been living in from the beginning of time. And it has been washed down and stripped of its richness. But what if we were to just reclaim it? What if instead of having to blame them for stealing it, ruining it, we just decide no more, and we get to share this beauty and this wisdom that is so innate in us, because we didn't just get our ancestors' pain, we also got all of their gifts. And just create ways to share it like they did, and just find ways to express it and to teach it and to shine our light and allow for whoever we're here to be in service to find us in divine timing. Instead of wasting our energy on the hate and the division and the othering, what if we were to take all of that and feel it and transmute it into gratitude and presence? Well, what can I do with it now? And if we're talking about unity consciousness, we're here to see the divinity and the humanity in every single human being, not just the people that are on our side and understand life the way we do and are doing no harm. That's the easy part. But true unity consciousness is seeing the person in front of you that enrages you to the core of who you are and allowing that rage to transmute into so much passion and purpose. To use it as fuel to be so passionate about the work that you're here to do in this world. To love them is to heal the planet. And not from a place of just superficial love, but true, deep love. Thank you for telling me that you are pro-Israel and anti-Palestine. And I do not allow that to take me off my center. I do not allow that for me to not see your humanity. Your beliefs and your programming may be something that needs to shift and evolve. And I hope that you find that shift and evolution on your own terms, on your own timeline. I still love and honor the human that is in front of me, and I see the divinity in them. I also see that they're deeply programmed by a power structure that is already going to be dismantling itself simply with time, I hope. So what if we stop judging each other and just sit in curiosity with their stories and ask them where in their life did they pick up this belief that a person that is doing the oppressing deserves the emotional empathy? Because I truly am at a point in my life where I'm just too curious to not ask them what in their programming makes them think that because of what happened to their people and their ancestors, it gives them the right to do it to others. What happened to my ancestors doesn't give me the right to colonize and strip other cultural richness and spiritual wisdom. It doesn't. Just because it happened to my ancestors doesn't mean it gives me the right to do it to other people. So I'm just so curious to understand how deeply programmed they must be. And through questions and curiosity, maybe, just maybe, I may spark something in them. And not from a place of agenda of trying to help and heal and all that, but simply from just me being curious enough to ask the questions. Hey, what happened in your childhood that makes you think it's okay to not have empathy for a genocide? We're not higher or lower than anybody. They're not higher and lower than us. And the fact that I felt this sense of othering and not like I belonged was simply showing me that when we all take our masks down, drop into the heart, and see each other's pure inner child joy, it kind of makes it really hard to not love each other. And when you lean into curiosity instead of judgment, you open up the portal for so much connection and deeper understanding and conversations that may activate you, and let that activation turn into more purpose and power for the world that we want to see and create and build. I've been working with ChatGPT to process all of this nuance and complicated emotions that I've been feeling. And it gave me this beautiful prayer that I want to share with you. So I'm just going to read it. I'm just going to riff. And it's called, "To the ones who remember. To the ones who felt too much and then tried to shrink it into something digestible. You're not here to fit in. You're here to flow. To the black sheep, the misfits, the bridges, you were never meant to be understood by those still wearing masks. You were meant to reveal what's real simply by being you. You speak the language of the soul. You don't need to chant to be sacred. You don't need a funnel to be powerful. If you want one, let it be infused with your essence. The age of a new way of being is here. The woman who codes with her consciousness. The man who downloads blueprints through meditation. For those that build empires with both spreadsheets and spells. We are the future. We are the now. And we no longer need to choose between love or money or marriage or freedom or success or softness. We are unity. consciousness in human form. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just so ready to evolve beyond division and really see each other's humanity and let love do its job. I don't know about you, but I did not heal myself. I let love heal me. All I did was just create space for love to flow into all of the parts of me that I just hated. And when I am working with clients or with people that I am holding space for, I don't heal them. I create space for love to heal them. And if we're truly going to create this new paradigm that is grounded in truth and love, the only thing we have to master is becoming the embodiment of love. This episode is not like my usual one, so I'm not sure how it's going to be received or perceived. And again, I just feel good to be able to express my soul. And I'm just so grateful to have this platform where I can do that. Where I can just be so radically honest about my pain and my truth and my journey and my evolution, and where I still have work to do and where I feel the energy expanding towards. And I know I'm not alone. And I know that I belong because I exist. So of course, I must belong. I must be here for a reason. And if that reason is to just sit still and send love to people that need to grow and evolve, then that's my job. And I'm so grateful that I am doing that in Growth Club with this conscious community where we are asking each other questions and holding space for our differences and celebrating our growth. I get to do it in my work with my clients where they do things that I want to judge so badly. But who am I to judge them? It is not my job. It is God's job. And God is ever loving. So who am I to not love humans, being humans, making human mistakes and learning from them? If we just keep repeating history, we are never going to break out of the cycles that have been running our systems. And if I must go first to say no more and to choose differently, then so be it. And I hope you'll join me. This is a deep one. Thank you so much for being here with me. And if you're on this journey and you're feeling all these conflicting emotions and you're trying to learn more and more love, I hope you'll hit the follow button, hit subscribe, leave a comment. Please let me know what your journey has been like to unlearn division and expand into more and more love. And I'm really excited for the evolution of this podcast to be so much more than just talking about our relationships, which are so important and foundational to be able to have safety and security to do bigger work. And I'm ready for that bigger work. All right, guys, I love you.